Dear colleagues, let me first thank my colleagues for the good cooperation on the report. We stand here as a united Parliament. United in our belief that we must put our naivety away when dealing with China. A united Parliament that is very clear in its rejection of the investment agreement as long as our colleagues are sanctioned and human rights violations are ongoing in China. In our report, we recognize that the rise of China will have an enormous impact on our way of life and Europe's role in the world. But we warn that Europe is not prepared for this change, because until now, we have defined our relationship with China in terms of trade. Don't get me wrong, China is indeed a very interesting trading partner, and it's great for European business that many Chinese are now able to afford German cars, French wines, Nathalie, and Italian fashion. But economic gains should not make us blind to challenges the Chinese Communist Party is posing to the liberal world order. The EU must be determined to defend our key values. And this, colleagues, requires a new and more assertive strategy. Firstly, we must realize that China is too big to ignore. We cannot deal with climate change, terrorism and global security without working together with China. If we want to save our planet, China must be our partner in these fields. And that is why I fully disagree with those who plead for a complete decoupling between the West and China. But let's not be naive. China's cherry-picking in the rules of the United Nations and the World Trade Organization must be over. And China has to show that it means business fighting climate change. And if not, the EU must implement a border tax to offset the higher carbon emissions of Chinese products. Secondly, the EU must step up its defense of human rights and the rule of law. The communist regime tries to wipe out the Uyghur heritage from the Chinese soil. Hong Kong, colleagues, has been subject to one of the most brutal crackdowns we have seen in recent history. But this repression, colleagues, is not limited to China. Chinese Belt and Road money is pouring into Africa, the Western Balkans, and Latin America. It is financing regimes and companies that trample on human rights. Reports on labor exploitation, land grabbing, pollution and health issues are frequent. I really call on our leaders to finally come up with a credible European alternative to the Belt and Road Initiative. We must support sustainable investments which do not exploit workers, respect the environment and enhances good governance. And let us, colleagues, increase the pressure on China to stop its crackdown on Hong Kong. And we need, and I say that already a lot of time, I will repeat it again, we need to stop importing cotton from the Xinjiang area. Because, colleagues, products from slave labor have no place in the European Union. And thirdly, we make it very clear that the EU will never be able to be a match for China or the other world powers if we do not get our acts together. The disaster in Afghanistan has shown that we need a European army, a real foreign policy without national vetoes. And for me, also very clear, a European FBI and CIA to counter foreign threats. China's rise has only just begun. Some say Europe's decline has started a long time ago. Let's prove them wrong and step up our ambition level. Let's show that the time of naivety is over. Let's make Europe fit for the future with a new strategy to deal with the rising dragon, combined with a strategy to be able to make a fist on the world stage. Thank you very much, colleagues.